Hello, this is Dr. Day with Innovation Dermatology. Today I'm going to answer a question that has been coming up a lot in clinic recently, which is this. Are tanning beds safe? And should I be getting a base tan before I go on holidays? That's an interesting question and an important public health question that I wanted to address. I personally think we should change the name of tanning beds to tanning coffins. They look like coffins, and it is unequivocal now. They certainly increase the risk for skin cancer. In Canada alone, the incidence for invasive melanoma is 1 in 50. This has been increasing steadily over time. The World Health Organization has recently labeled tanning beds as a Class 1 carcinogen. That means there is clear evidence that tanning bed usage increases your risk of skin cancer. Is this the case across the world? The answer is yes. Studies have confirmed this in Australia, Europe, the United States, and in Canada, and the findings have always been the same. So why is there this notion of base tans or getting vitamin D in a natural way through tanning beds? The answer is this. There's misinformation out there. For you to get vitamin D that's sufficient for your day-to-day healthy body functioning, you need about 10 minutes of sun exposure if you're wearing shorts and a t-shirt. The other thing is you can get it through diet. So do you need to lay in a tanning bed to get natural vitamin D? The answer is no. The next thing is this. Tanning beds are not the same as regular sun exposure. You walking around for 10 minutes outside is not equivalent to getting the high intensity UVA, UVB light that you can get in a tanning bed over a series of treatments. Another important thing to be aware of is tanning beds aren't simply associated with an increased risk of melanoma, but it's also been found to increase your risk of basal cell carcinoma and squamous cell carcinoma. And that's important because those are the most common skin cancers. So across the entire spectrum of the most common and the most lethal skin cancers, tanning bed usage will increase your likelihood of developing those cancers. So this is clearly a major public health problem. So what can we actually do about it? What if you did use tanning beds before? What can you do about it? The first thing is to stop using tanning beds completely. The next thing that's important is to understand that you can do things to prevent sun damage. What? What can you do? The first is sunscreen usage or physical sun protective behavior. Now there was a very interesting study that came out recently that talked about a group taking groups of people and bringing them to the beach and doing two interventions. Intervention number one was saying, sit in the shade, sit under an umbrella, a physical block of sunlight. The other group was then recommended they use sunscreen, and they used sunscreen in an appropriate way with one application. At the end of a certain number of hours, they determined which groups had more sunburn. And the answer was interesting. The physical blocking group had a higher amount of sunburn, although both groups had significantly high amounts of sunburn. And the conclusion from that study was that by combining physical blocking agents like a hat, a sun shirt, sitting in the shade with sunscreen was more effective than either group alone. The next important part to say is, okay, well, I'll start doing that. I'll wear a hat, I'll use sunscreen. Is there anything else that I can do? The next thing you can do is chat with your local dermatologist. Book an appointment, get a skin check. Why? Because early detection impacts mortality rate. If you pick up a skin cancer early, the treatment for it is often simply surgery, removing the skin cancer, and nothing else needs to be done. But if it's more advanced, that's where it becomes quite problematic. The next question that often comes up is a base tan a good idea to prepare you to minimize sun damage in the future? And the answer is no. A tan is a sign that your skin has been damaged. It is the body's way to try and protect your DNA from further damage from ultraviolet light. So once again, an ounce of prevention certainly is worth a pound of cure. Consider using sunscreen this summer or when you're going on holidays, and physical blocking agents like hats. If you do have a worrisome spot, feel free to contact your local dermatologist for a skin examination, because at the end of the day, your dermatologist is there to try and help you spot skin cancer earlier if you have it, or at least give you the tools necessary to avoid the likelihood of running into problems with skin cancer in the future. So once again, this is Dr. Dave from Innovation Dermatology. Remember, you only have one skin, and we're here to try and help you as best we can. Have a great day.